Welcome to the Cisco show. Don't touch that remote. We got a great show here. This show is going to be a little bit helpful for your soul. Going to get a little religion in your soul. So stick around, and you're going to meet a priest that taken over in Bridgeport. Bridgeport closed 3 Catholic churches. Bridgeport, you know, it had so many Catholics going to church every Sunday. They were bumping into each other. And all of a sudden, they're all closed. So where do we come? St. Anthony, St. Joseph, somebody up there sent down a priest to go into Mount Carmel Church and serve masses. So I'm going to turn it over to him, and he's going to tell you all about what it's about. A new church, new priest, Bridgeport. God bless Bridgeport. I'll bless myself to start. Father, welcome to the Cisco show. You're going to have to talk to a lot of people, you know, and say who, what, where, when, why. Tell us all about it.
Well,
who are you? Tell your name, and then, all right.
I'm Father David Ousley. I'm the pastor of St. John the Baptist Catholic Church.
John the Baptist.
St. John the Baptist on Ford Street, corner of Union Avenue in Bridgeport.
Right.
Used to be Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Right. You had the big feast.
They had the big feast. And they merged with Sacred Heart in Sweetsburg. So Mount Carmel Mount Carmel is no more. We have moved into the property. Now, we're a Catholic church, but with a difference. St. John the Baptist is part of the personal ordinariate of the chair of St. Peter.
Right.
Now, that's long and complicated. It's effectively a diocese without geography for laymen and priests and congregations that used to be Episcopalian or Anglican.
Yeah.
Used to be Protestant.
And well, Episcopalian is pretty close to Catholic, no?
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
Episcopalian's a wide range of things. So this is a diocese for those who used to be Protestant and are now Catholic.
What do you mean they were used to be Catholic?
Used to be Protestant.
Protestants.
Episcopalians, Anglicans, they're Protestants.
Right.
We are now in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
What happened about 15, 20 years ago, Anglicans began petitioning Rome for a way of coming into the Catholic Church, not just as individuals, but as groups, as a congregation or a diocese. And in 2009, Pope Benedict produced an edict setting up this Ordinariate, which is a kind of diocese.
What do they call it?
Ordinariate.
What's that mean?
Well, it's a canonical term, canon law,
okay,
for this particular structure. There's only one other in the country, and that's the military archdiocese.
Military?
With all the military chaplains for the armed forces.
Wow.
See, they're not geographical.
I thought the last president got rid of all the chaplains. No?
No, they're still there serving our servicemen.
I thought there was some kind of thing there. There was, I don't know what it was. It wasn't allowed to do masses or something, but, you know, well, things are changed, but, you know,
so
the truth shall survive.
So the Ordinariate maintains some of our Anglican heritage, so that I'm not actually in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia.
You're not in the Archdiocese? No.
But I'm Catholic.
But you're Catholic.
And
well, you were ordained Catholic priest.
I was ordained in 2012 as a Catholic priest.
What seminary?
They had a special program for us because priests and their congregations were coming into the Catholic Church, and they wanted to keep the priests together with the congregation. So they didn't take us out and send us to seminary. They did some distance learning, part-time, while we still were pastors of the congregation. So
your training, like to become a priest at St. Charles Seminary, I think had to be 9 years. 9 years.
Well,
it's a long
years.
time.
They gave us credit for what we had learned.
Oh, you had education before that.
Priests.
Yeah,
yes.
You had a college degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So in 2012, in January, that's when the Ordinariate in the United States and Canada was started. We started from scratch. On the first day of January, we had an ordinary, which would be our bishop, and a website.
You have a website.
That's all we had when we
started.
started.
Yeah.
We had no office, we had no staff, we had no money, we had no priests, we had no congregations.
Oh.
Now, 5 years later, we have a cathedral in Houston. Our bishop is in Houston. We have 40 to 45 congregations. We have about 75 priests.
Good.
We have more men in process of becoming ordained. We have 4 men in seminary, and we have a number of former Anglican priests who are seeking to become Catholic priests.
Would another priest from Phil Arts come in and do Mass at your place? No?
Yes.
At your church?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Any priest that's a valid priest can come in.
Well, a lot of people don't know about you coming in town. You're a new man on the block.
We are the new man on the block. We've been in Bridgeport since Christmas a year ago. So we're very new.
How long for the first time you served the first Mass there? How long ago?
That was Christmas a year ago.
This past,
No, a year ago.
I mean, you've been operating and nobody knew about it.
We've been working on it. We got to sign up.
You're an undercover man.
We just didn't know about the Hank Cisco
Well, you
show.
got news for you now. Mount Carmel Church is wide open now.
But it's not Mount Carmel anymore.
You're gonna.
It's St. John the Baptist now.
Bridgeport, it was Irish, Italian, Polish, Slovak, whatever else come over there, and had 4 different churches. You know. Now, you don't have no Irish church, Italian church, the Polish church, Slovak church. So what do we have? A Catholic church that's serving the purpose of helping you get to heaven.
Yeah.
Am I right? What are my arms out here doing there? So
part of what's special about this, we have our own missal, we have our own liturgy,
okay.
we have our own hymnal, we keep the elements of Anglican liturgy that are consistent with the Catholic faith. So our congregation is a little over 100.
Right now you got 100 people belong.
Yeah, it's a little over. We have breakfast every Sunday after Mass, so everybody can get to know everybody else.
Wait a minute. You have breakfast after Mass?
Yeah.
In the church?
Breakfast is next door in the school. Mass is in the church.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Are you going to have a feast?
Look, you mean like Mount Carmel did?
Yeah.
No.
Don't say no.
Not for a while at least.
Oh, yeah.
We'll work up to
don't,
that.
Don't say
Work
no.
up
We're
to
going to
that.
have it. You're going to get everybody.
Not this summer.
Just tell them we're going to get. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Sacred Heart has a great feast.
Yeah, I
in the
know
summer.
they do. Yeah. So
we
that
go
was
up,
a little
we
bit
go
of a
up
problem.
we go up and help them with it.
Yeah. Well, when Mount Carmel closed down, Sacred Heart went on with the Polish feast, but then they changed it now. I think they call it Fiesta or something. You know, don't hurt nobody's feelings. You know.
Well, it's a merged parish.
Yeah.
So
you're coming around the side door, right?
Well,
You can have a little. Why can't you have a little feast? You call it the International.
we
Get
could.
the Irish, Italian, Polish. Put them up. Put over there.
We're working on other things first.
Oh, well, you got to do that. Well, that's all right.
So-
You know, I'm always looking for promotion, and I want food, manja.
Well, come to Mass and you have breakfast afterwards.
Okay.
Any Sunday. Mass is at 10
Okay.
o'clock.
Okay.
breakfast afterwards.
I come out, I'll be a freeloader. Yeah, well, that's a good idea. You fill their stomach, and then they fill their head.
Well, the other thing is that St. John the Baptist is a merger of two Ordinariate congregations.
Okay.
One of them, St. Michael's, I've been their priest since 1983.
Uh-huh.
We were in Mount Airy before we came to
Mount Airy.
Bridgeport
Yeah.
at Holy Cross.
A lot of people there that need help.
And our congregation at St. Michael's comes from all over the map. I've got parishioners from Princeton.
St. Michael, he's for accidents, right? St. Michael's
Yeah.
the patron saint. Right?
Among other things.
My patron saint is Saint Anthony.
Hopeless causes.
Yeah. You don't
look like a
lose
hopeless cause to
anything.
me.
Saint Anthony, please come around. Something's been lost and must be found. Yeah. And my favorite saint is also St. Joseph. When they have the St. Joseph feast, St. Joseph table, that's what you should have. On St. Joseph's Day, the St. Joseph table. And you give everybody the fava bean, okay?
Okay.
Right? You have the feast with the fava bean. The fava bean, an old Sicilian where there was no rain and nothing was growing, and the only thing was growing and people were surviving was a fava bean. So they prayed to Saint Joseph. He says, if it rains, give us the crops will grow. We'll put on a feast and feed the poor. So now they have the St. Joseph's table on March the 19th. The 17th is St. Patrick's. Two great saints, okay? So this fava bean becomes the lucky bean. And they say, as long as you carry a fava bean in your pocket, you'll never be hungry, you'll never be broke. And that's why I carry one in my pocket every day. Now, talk about religion. Let's get back to it.
So, St. Michael's people, I've got parishioners coming from Princeton.
St. Michael.
From Princeton, from Morristown, Atlantic City, Wilmington, Downingtown. So we needed a location that was still convenient to the expressway.
You got a good spot.
The other congregation, which was the John Henry Newman Fellowship, was in Wayne. So, and they're mostly living on the
St.
on the
John
main
Newman
line.
in Wayne.
That's Blessed John Henry Newman. He's the English one, not the Philadelphia one.
Oh, no?
There are two Newmans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he was a 19th century cardinal, John Henry Newman, but he was English.
You're English too, right?
Well, my family was.
I'm just saying. I checked you out on Google. I Googled, and it says English. So now we have Italian, Irish, Slovak, Polish, and English. What else we got? So I just want to throw you a bouquet. I talked to some people, because I never met you. I didn't know anything about you. I didn't know anything about this new church. And I says, what's the scoop on him, this new priest? He says, from what I did, he's pretty well received. People like him. So I just want
I'm glad to hear it.
I just want to
Thank
throw
you.
that to you.
Thank you.
But you still have to bob and weave, All sunshine makes deserts. If you want a beautiful garden, you have to have rain, snow, and everything. Yep. So you're going to have some rain and snow and everything if you want a beautiful garden in Bridgeport, right?
Yep.
Right. Go ahead.
So Bridgeport was a good location for both congregations.
I think you couldn't find a better place.
And it's a great little town. I'm very pleased to be there.
Growing.
And Mount Carmel was the parish. They took good care of their buildings.
Yes.
They prayed in there. It's a wonderful place to be. We're very glad to be there.
Yeah. A friend of mine that used to have the dry cleaner, now he had their restaurant, Dolce Vita on DeKalb Street.
Yeah.
They both passed away, husband and wife. The daughter's running it now. But he bought that statue there. He put it up, I don't know, a couple $1,000 or so, He donated that to the church, So there was a lot of good people, and when them people have the feast there, they dedicate so much time, and so that's what keeps these people together, giving them something to do.
Well, we were glad to be able to keep Mount Carmel as a Catholic church.
Yes.
There are a lot of nice ones around. We could only save one,
Right.
but we were glad to be able to save that one.
Right.
Our mission is in part to the mission that Pope Benedict gave us to preserve the Anglican heritage in communion with the Catholic Church.
Oh, okay.
That's why we have our own missal and our own liturgy.
Your mission is?
Our mission is twofold. First is to preserve the Anglican heritage, which had been outside the Catholic Church since the 1500s, and is now brought back into communion with the Catholic Church through the Ordinariate. So it's an ecumenical endeavor. It brings communion back where there was schism before, the schism that goes back to Henry VIII in the 16th century.
Oh.
So through Pope Benedict's initiative, we can bring back communion.
You give communion.
Well, we are now in communion with the See of Peter, with Rome.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
Catholic.
All right, let's get down into the thing. Do you do weddings?
Of course.
Somebody wants to get married.
It's a parish.
They come over and call up, I want to get married.
Well, it's not quite that easy. If they have a Catholic parish, if they're not parishioners with me at St. John the Baptist, then they should get married in
if they
their
don't belong to no
parish.
church, they can come over there, right?
They need to be Catholic.
Yeah, they don't, you know, I guess other churches wouldn't want everybody to jump ship and come over there, right? You got to be careful.
The other part of our mission, since you bring it up, is to help Protestants come into the Catholic Church when they discover that they want to be Catholic.
You'll get all the Protestants mad at you.
The ones that want to come in. See, very often
You're gonna watch it, yeah.
they'll discover a need for sacraments.
Let me tell you.
Most Protestants don't have sacraments. Or they discover a need for clear teaching. Those are the two big reasons. People have other reasons
That's good.
too.
Well, that's important.
And
you know.
we can make it easier for them to come in because our experience on Sunday morning is more like what they're used to.
Right.
Because it's a smaller congregation, we have coffee hour after Mass, everybody sings the hymns, the whole atmosphere is more congenial than it would be in a normal 1,500 family diocesan parish.
All right, so how about funerals? Same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Got to be, right.
Well, funerals, it's a little more flexible. But again, my congregation is a younger congregation, so I don't do a lot of funerals.
No? Well, they're young.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of people dying.
Unless they louse
Which
up.
is good. I'm not complaining. Hope to keep it that way.
Well, all right, now, you serve Mass on what days of the week?
Sunday Mass, that's the main one. That's at 10 o'clock
10 o'clock, one Mass.
on Sunday. One
On
Mass
Sunday.
on Sunday. Because of getting the two congregations together, I've kept one Mass. That helps everybody get to know each other.
Oh.
The Newman from Wayne and the St. Michael's from Mount Airy.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
And then on weekdays, Tuesday and Thursday at 6 in the evening.
Oh, in the evening, no morning stuff.
Wednesday morning at 10
10,
with a healing service and Bible study after.
that Bible study. Yeah.
Bible studies at 11 on Wednesday.
An informed congregation is a peaceful congregation.
Among
You gotta
other
have that
things.
Bible study,
It's a holy one as well.
right?
The Word of God is essential.
You know, some guy says, I don't like religion, I don't, God, I don't this, that, the other thing. He was in the army. That's what a soldier was telling this story. He said, this guy, and he's always knocking it. Finally, he was on the battlefield and got shot. Pow! Oh my God, help me. When he's in need, then he he wants God. All during that time, no. So,
Well, if you
always
think
get a
of-
little bit of religion in your soul.
if you think of Jesus, the people that were most receptive to him were the ones who had needs.
Yeah.
The prostitutes, the tax collectors, the sinners, those who
Yeah,
were sick,
yeah.
those who were possessed. The Pharisees didn't feel their need for him.
But tell me something about you.
Well,
where you grew up?
I grew up in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, all in Beantown.
Yeah, outside, not in the city. We were out in the country.
Okay.
And I've been in Philadelphia since 1983. I came to St. Michael's, which, when it was in the Episcopal Church, was St. James the Less in North Philly. And I was married, am married. Pope Benedict very kindly allowed me to keep my wife when I was ordained as a Catholic priest.
You can do that.
So
your wife stays with you?
He made an exception.
How many
as
children
he
you
does
got?
for the Ordinariate.
How many children?
I got 3 kids.
3. Boy, girl?
They're all grown.
All girls?
No, they're all grown. They're out of the house. My oldest is...
Here, Nate. Turn it up, Hank.
My daughter is the oldest. She's a ballet dancer with Carolina Ballet in Raleigh.
Where?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, tell her to come up and put on a show here.
Okay, next time she's up, I'll give you a call.
We can do it. I'll get... Hey, John Doyle, he's the director. He'll have her here. We'll have her do a little dancing here. You got a lot of talent. How about you? Do you sing or dance?
No, I certainly don't.
Oh, well.
You would not want
that's out there.
You would not want to see that.
You know,
And the other 2 boys, my older boy went to the Naval Academy and did Marine Corps. He's out now. He's working for a software company, also in North Carolina. And my youngest is also a boy. He's also an engineer. He's working for a Navy research lab in Virginia.
In Virginia?
So
well, you got them all scattered out.
Not too far. Not as close as we'd like, but not too far.
Well, this show is going to be put on YouTube, and they can see the show, I think, maybe next week or so, whenever John puts it on.
Okay.
And they'll see the show. Is there anything you want to say to him?
No, I'll talk to him on the phone.
Well, you should be proud of your dad here, because he's doing something. He's going in there all by himself into a town to help the town. And I'm sure Bridgeport wasn't too happy to have 3 churches closed down. And I'm sure they're happy that somebody's coming back and bring, the feeling of religion.
We had a cookout for Bridgeport last summer. A cookout.
Oh, yeah?
In August.
Have spaghetti on the side?
No spaghetti.
Sorry. How about soul food, right? Joe Boat, right?
But we'll probably do that again next summer. So anybody that wants to come can.
You have to do a St. Joseph's table on March the 19th. Put a table out there, put some fruit, put some cakes, that's it. Bottle of wine, and out there, just celebrate.
We can't do it on the 19th this year. It's on Sunday. It gets transferred to the 20th on Monday.
Oh, yeah?
St. Joseph's Day. So don't get confused. St. Joseph's Day is on Monday the 20th.
Okay. All right. So what's the future for this? What do you think's out front?
Well, we're finding ways in which we can help Bridgeport.
Right.
We're still working at that. We're still looking for suggestions.
Yep.
We have started support work for homeschool families. I teach a homeschool high school scripture class.
You do?
Once a week.
What school?
It's homeschool kids.
Oh.
I do it online through Skype.
Oh, okay.
So, and I correct their homework. I give them assignments. I grade them and all that stuff. We had just on Monday this week, we had a homeschool moms night where they came. We gave them an hour of adoration with the Blessed Sacrament where they could be quiet with Jesus, and then dessert and tea where they could share with one another and support one another. Because homeschooling can be a challenge for the moms.
Yeah.
So we want to support that.
Well, after the show, I'm going to give you some leads on how you can get some little donations on the side, food and stuff. But I don't want to do it now, because if I say it now, then everybody in the sister will go there. All right, I got a question from the balcony up there. The guy with the blue shirt. What are the most important things you feel you should teach your congregation?
The most important thing is to love Jesus.
That's it. Number 1. Go ahead.
And to love Jesus is to love his church.
Right.
Which is the Catholic Church. So because we came from Protestant backgrounds, we have all made a commitment to the Catholic Church. So in one sense, everybody had to go through instruction before they came into the Catholic Church. So my congregation might actually be better instructed than many. But we want to grow in the Catholic faith.
Right.
So that means, on the one hand, saying your prayers, being faithful to prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. It means, on the other hand, serving other people. And that's a big part of what we want to move into the mission in Bridgeport.
That's right. Going to church is preparing yourself. Prepare yourself.
Well, it's preparing yourself. You do it for its own sake because you want to be with Jesus.
Right.
Worship you do for its own sake. But you can't just leave it there for the hour on Sunday. You've got to live it out the rest of the week.
You got to, just like a fighter, you have to get in shape, train. You don't just go fight. Then there was a priest and a rabbi sitting ringside at a boxing match, right? And the one guy's blessing himself. And the rabbi says, Father, is that going to help him any? He says, it ain't going to help him if he's not in shape, if he didn't train. So prayers are all right, but you got to get yourself in shape. You got to do what's right. You got to train, prepare yourself, right?
Part of the training is saying your prayers.
Right. Well, that's training. But a different kind of training.
Yeah. Well, as Paul the Apostle says.
When I say prayers at night to go to bed, I feel better. If I would go to bed without saying a prayer, I'd be afraid maybe I'll wake up dead. Right? I don't think it'd be that bad. No, God will take care of me. You know, every once in a while I'll forget, you know. But go ahead.
No, I think the focus needs to be on Jesus. And He will take care of us.
Yes.
He's been very good to us. We're growing since we moved to Bridgeport. We're probably a third of our folks have come in since then.
Right. Go ahead.
So he's been good. We're no complaints. We're glad to be where we are.
All right. Here's another question. How can we? You read it.
How can we find out about your church? Well, you can come, 500 Ford Street in Bridgeport.
You got a website?
The website is SJB, as in St. John the Baptist, Bridgeport, sjbbridgeport.org.
Okay.
And you'll find the story of who we are, how we got there. You'll find a link to the Ordinariate website if you want to know more about that.
Right. All right, the last question from the audience. Read it out loud. It's a tough one.
Why should a Protestant convert to Catholicism? Well, strictly speaking, we don't think of it as conversion, because conversion is to Christ, and they're already a Christian. But to come into full communion with the Catholic Church is to have the fullness of the faith. To be outside the Catholic Church, you have part of it, sometimes a very large part of it. But to have the blessing of sacraments, to have the blessing of clear teaching, to have authority in a way that Christ willed to organize His church, well, it's a great blessing.
That's a great question. It's the last one. So our
half
hour is over.
I could go on that
30
one for
seconds.
a while.
What do you want to do? What do you want to tell the people in Bridgeport?
Go to Mass.
Go to Mass.
If you don't have a place to go to Mass, come to St. John's.
And put something in the collection, okay?
He said that, not me.
Hey, Father, thank you, and God bless you.
God bless you too,
Thank
Hank.
you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing us to come into your room. But check it out, Mount Carmel Church. You know, you don't have to be Irish to celebrate Ireland or with Irish Day, right? Communication. We're going to have a big parade in Conshohocken. So until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving. May God bless each and every one. Allah salud. Allah salud.
Salud.
That means to your health. And if you got your health, you got everything. Allah salud.